Hi gorgeous, and a very Merry Christmas to you once again. If you caught the first video that published today all about the best makeup products from 2017, this video is going to focus on the worst makeup of 2017. So this video is going to have some negativity in it, but it's okay, it's okay. Happy Drugstore December to you, by the way. We only have 6 days left of December. For those who don't know, I'm publishing a drugstore themed video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the whole month of December. So you will get 4 videos this week. Great way to wrap up the end of the month, right? Please subscribe so you don't miss out on any drugstore videos coming out for the rest of December. Oh, and my Frugal Friday series, which does publish every single Friday, featuring drugstore products. We're gonna hop right on into this list. The very first product I have to share with you is the e.l.f., or I should say are the e.l.f. Clay Eyeshadow Palettes. I don't know what it was with these, but the quality was absolutely horrible. I found them to be chalky, hard to work with. I could barely get any of the product onto the brush to even get it onto my eyes. They were a far cry from so many of the eyeshadow palettes I have tried from e.l.f. Cosmetics. I do not recommend checking these out. So I recently tried a new foundation from a brand I had never heard of before called Bronx Colors, and it was their HDTV version. Well, it looked rather yellow in the container when I applied it on camera for you in a first impressions tutorial that I did. But yeah, no, it wasn't yellow. It was green on my skin. I've never seen something so hideous come out of a foundation bottle in all my experience with makeup. Yeah. And on top of that, it didn't even wear that well either. So you won't see me going back to try any of the foundations from Bronx Colors. Over the past year, Maybelline came out with a whole new line of makeup brushes. So I did do a complete demo and review with these in a video past. And most of the brushes were pretty good, but there were 2 brushes that really disappointed me from the line, and they were the foundation brush and the concealer brush. Both of these brushes made application extremely hard. The application was very patchy on the skin. It took forever to get the product to blend in, and I felt like they were more time consuming than they were worth. A makeup brush is supposed to make your application faster, easier. These did not do that, so if you see the foundation or the concealer brush from Maybelline, skip them. And by the same token, the e.l.f. Silicone Makeup Sponges. These are horrible. I mean, you would have gotten better performance with an egg. Yes, you know, a regular egg that you eat. I'm telling you, an egg would have probably done a better job. Because all these silicone sponges did was move the makeup around the face. It didn't blend it into the skin at all. Why is this even a material that we're using in makeup sponges? I will never understand it. Every single makeup sponge I've tried that is silicone is horrible. Stop doing this, okay? Just stick with foam. Save the silicone for the boobs, okay? I'm just saying. Another really horrible sponge that I tried over the past year was the L'Oreal Contour Sponge. Do you remember this thing? It was the weirdest looking sponge ever, and it was really hard to use on top of that. Not only that, it was inflexible. I submerged this guy underwater trying to get it to expand and soften up. Didn't. It was still really hard against the skin. It did not apply contour well at all. The instructions that came with it were really difficult to understand, and I don't know, even for somebody who's experienced, I struggled with it, so I can't imagine if you had been new to makeup and had tried to use this sponge, you would have been completely frustrated by it. And after I made that video, I went and watched some of the reviews on YouTube for other people that were reviewing it, and I don't think it got a good review from anybody, to be honest with you. Another really awful makeup product that I should have never tested on a filming day, but I did, and I kept the footage because hey, I'm human, is the Hard Candy Wet Ever Liquid Lipstick. Ugh. Unbeknownst to me, the lipstick was bleeding and feathering, and it looked like a big mess on my lips throughout the whole video, and I hadn't even been wearing it for an hour up to that point. And I don't check myself in the mirror during filming, so whenever I bring the footage over into editing, that's usually when I see these kinds of things. I've had lashes hanging off, lipstick on my teeth, lipstick on my cheek. Yes. So you can imagine my disgust when I saw this lipstick that had bled and feathered everywhere. I almost refilmed that footage and I said, no, I'm gonna leave it in. And I'm just gonna let you know that I was testing a liquid lipstick and that nobody should ever purchase this liquid lipstick. Awful stuff. Another really disappointing product that I had high expectations for was the NYX 3-in-1 brow pencil in the shade Auburn. And I had really high expectations for this one based off of my experience and love for the NYX micro brow pencil in Auburn, which is a really natural looking shade of Auburn. Great formula on the brows and lasts all day too. Well, the formula with the NYX 3-in-1 brow pencil is really good, I will give it that. But the color, it's not natural looking at all. Nothing like the micro brow pencil. This is straight up clown red. I don't know who approved this color. This is not what redheads look like. It's not. And yes, I am basing my review off of color alone. It gets a big from me, but I really have to question the natural quality of the other colors that would come in these 3-in-1 pencils. Like if you're a blonde, if you're a brunette, if you have ebony colored hair, how natural would those colors look with the 3-in-1 pencil if they were so far off with the Auburn shade? You see what I mean? It just makes you wonder. Now, in the beginning of this past year, there were 2 color correcting palettes that came out from 2 very different companies. First one was the L'Oreal Concealer Palette, and the second was the Maybelline Master Camo color correcting palette. And I believe that I reviewed both of these together in one video. I did not like the application with either of these color correcting palettes. The colors were really off. They didn't do much in terms of concealing flaws in the skin, and they wore horribly. They faded and didn't do anything to color correct the skin at all. And there are much better color correctors out there. If you're looking for color correctors, don't go to L'Oreal and Maybelline for them. I would recommend looking at LA Girl Cosmetics and NYX. Now, those 2 companies know what they're doing when it comes to color correctors. The Jordana Cream Contour Stick. I found this one to be really hard to work with. I had trouble blending it into the skin. The application was rather patchy and I could not get it to look natural to save my life. It was so streaky. And I know I'm in the minority with this one because there were so many of you who said you love this contour stick when I gave it a bad review initially. And that's great. That's why each of us is an individual, and there are so many makeup companies and brands out there so that we all can like things and dislike things. And I think that's great that you found a product that you really do like. For me, I've tried so many good Jordana products that I've been really happy with. Unfortunately, this was not one of them for me. The Model's Own Runway Foundation. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start with this stuff. It was just plain AWFUL. Awful. The application was terrible. Oh, terrible. And the wear time was just as bad. After 3 hours of wearing this stuff, I was a super duper grease ball, and by the time 8 hours came along, oh my gosh, I felt like I needed to hop in the shower. This stuff was just so gross feeling on my skin. Another foundation that really disappointed me, that's gotten really high marks here on YouTube, and I think it's because of my skin type. I have oily skin, was the Milani 2-in-1 Conceal and Perfect Foundation. My very first complaint with this particular foundation is the poor color selection that they offer with this line. And that's my complaint with every drugstore brand for that matter. Most drugstore foundation companies do not cater to those of us with really, really light complexions or really, really dark complexions. Both sides of the spectrum get left out. And Milani did a really great job of exclusion with this line because there are not many colors offered, and they are rather yellow tinted, which I also really didn't care for too much. Second complaint was that it moved around the face and it did not wear well at all. Like I said, it could be because I have an oily complexion, because I've heard about people with dry skin who really love this foundation. So in that respect, if you have dry skin, try it out for yourself, but if you have oily skin, avoid, avoid, avoid. Let's talk about another horrible foundation, shall we? That is the Maybelline Fit Me. Again, everyone raves about this stuff. Everyone talks about how great it is all the time, but I tried it out and I didn't like it at all. It pulled out dry patches on my skin. It didn't blend in very well. It looked like it was sitting on top of my skin after application. And by the end of the day, I just felt unpretty. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you wear a makeup look or a makeup product, and by the end of the day, you just think, oh, I can't wait to wash that stuff off my face. That's where I was with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. It was just terrible stuff. The last pretty bad makeup product I had to share with you from 2017 is the Ardell In Her Prime Matte Eyeshadow Primer. The primer itself would not be so bad. I mean, it does last a pretty long time and the formula is pretty good. Here's my problem with it. 2 tubes that I have of this stuff and both of them are the same. So I think that this is a quality issue that Ardell has maybe not discovered with their eyeshadow primers. I don't know. There's this gritty texture with these eyeshadow primers. When the formula comes out, it's almost like there are huge particles of something like sand stuck in the formula. So when you put the primer on, you have to put it on, let it dry for a little bit, and then almost sweep these particles away. I don't even know what these are. I feel like they're dried up pieces of the formula that maybe are in the bottle from sitting around too long. But yeah, it's just not good. Oh, and if you want a whole video of horrible products, go check out my video on Ross makeup that I did this past year. Oh, talk about cringe-worthy. Those are all my unfavorites of 2017. Please feel free to share some of yours below as well, so that none of us feels alone in the dud range here in the makeup world. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Please subscribe for more drugstore videos like this in the future. And if you did not catch the best of 2017 video, I will also have that one linked below for you as well. Merry Christmas to you once again. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend a little bit of your Christmas here with me today. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day and a week, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.